Alright, before we jump into the level, just want to remind everybody how far we've come. We started in a room, made our way to a town, and now we're about to start the low point of the game.
What the heck? They're all floating. The Elebits, too. Dad, Mom, I'm scared. This must be the Elebits' fault as well. I know. I'll go check Dad's secret room. I'm sure I'll find some clues there. I think the entrance was in his study, somewhere.
Hey guys, this is Suspicious Dish, and I'm here with...
Alpha 08.
Sorry for the bit of an abrupt intro, I just wanted a chance to remind everybody what we've accomplished so far. Before we get into, well, this. It's a good section when you first come to this initially in this level. It just drags on for more than it's welcome.
And apparently that pan really wanted to be in the shot.
Yeah. So, this was a game released in 2006 when physics engines were all sort of the rage back then. And...
They still are.
No, I guess they are, but how can you do a physics-based game without having a zero-gravity section? Come on! So, we're gonna have 4 levels of this.
So I take it it's not done very well.
It's basically, the game wasn't really modified to make it more fun. The big problem with it is that your capture gun is too powerful. Since gravity isn't acting on the objects, and the way the capture gun works is by sort of emitting forces on the object, even the biggest objects we can move without too big of a difficulty.
It's all techno-babble.
Yeah, you didn't understand a bit of that, did you?
I kind of did.
Right. Physics!
Yeah, we can just boil it down to physics.
Right, so... go study Newton's laws, because, yeah. So, really the problem with these levels is just that they're way too easy, there's no motivation to power up your gun, and there's 4 of them, which is far more than they should be. But overall, it's actually a neat idea, and I just wish it was done better, and I do like the idea. Also, it feels more like a tech demo, and the story part is just wedged in at the last moment.
To be fair, wasn't this also the tech demo level, just now with no gravity?
Yeah, it's a good point. They may have just did this first, actually. I don't know. It's sort of, when you're not quite a programmer, but when you have this sort of physics engine, it's quite easy to change the sort of the physics forces like gravity and friction. So it's often one of the first things that people do is to turn the gravity either off entirely or make it go in a different direction, like up or to the left or something.
I guess this, in theory, could have been like the second level, and you can't say it, but I'm doing quotations here. I mean, it's literally just the same level, but they turned gravity off.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And they decided to just add it as a level, and didn't really think too much about it.
Also, the other thing that I do like about this level is that it does show the relationship between the living room and the kitchen. I don't think we've... have we had a level where we've gone between the two yet? I don't remember. Oh, yes, we have. That's right, we did. Never mind. I'm just saying nonsense.
You've been doing that for 15 videos now.
I am the best LPer of this game. Yeah, so I'll get into this in a bit, but the main problem is just that there's no motivation to power up anything. I will say that we do have a breakable limit, and it is possible to break things, so... in fact, it's quite easy to break things if you're not too careful, because the Elebits, when they're flying around, have a tendency to knock things into each other. Also, go me phasing through that table.
This just furthers the idea that Kai is a ghost.
He's invisible, and Using the
Immaterial.
Immaterial, there you go. That's what I was looking for.
Well, he might be invisible. I mean, we don't see his legs or his hands.
Or anything, really. You see him in cutscenes, but I don't
That's
know.
just drawings.
Yeah.
It could be his own interpretation of himself.
Or it could be, like those people who draw the court drawings. This is an artist's interpretation of this murderer.
This is the artist's interpretation of this little boy.
Who appears to be tall enough to reach a chandelier, by the way.
That's odd.
Yeah. I really don't know how Kai is, so... Most of the time, when I'm in these sort of levels, there's a button to, duck down, there's a button to... I don't even know, it just makes you go higher. Either of those buttons make you walk a bit slower, but for the most part, I'm going to be in that mode, for the most part, stretched out all the way. Oh, also, this level's pretty easy.
I wonder how well someone could play a piano in Zero Gravity.
I'm just thinking about that, and that's putting a great image in my head. Anyway.
Floating Mozart.
Exactly. As you may have seen from the update picture, I'm including 2 missions per video here, so we get done with this place sooner.
Not too much happens here. I
No.
mean, we've seen it all before.
Right, pretty much. Well, there's actually someplace new, and as you can see, that shelf is selectable. Ooh, I wonder if we're gonna do that, and if that has something to do with the secret room. Ooh. Yeah, I think you can guess it all the way, already. By the way, kids, if Dad ever tells you that he has a secret room, I'm not sure you want to figure out what's in there. You might find something.
You may also want to question why your father is telling you that he has a secret room.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to tell kids that. They're rather curious.
Yeah. Maybe he's telling him intentionally for some reason. I'm not even gonna joke about that. That's terrible.
Maybe he knew that somehow the Elebits would go crazy and decided to tell his kid that I have a secret room where I study Elebit.
Maybe he didn't tell him. Maybe Kai just saw him one day in the secret room. Anyway.
Who knows?
Beds in Zero Gravity.
I don't think those would work that well.
No. Well, maybe.
If you think about how astronauts have to sleep, don't they have to strap themselves to a wall?
I think so, yeah. Anyway, I also want you to make a mention that we are not in Zero Gravity. We're sitting there playing fine on the floor, and the house is not in Zero Gravity because you can see when we're out the windows that everything's perfectly fine, so...
Very localized gravity.
Yes.
Maybe the gravity gun has a reverse function. We're just generating a bubble of gravity.
It's the capture gun. The gravity gun is Gary's mod. But I don't blame you for thinking that, because...
Well, it's essentially what it is!
Exactly! That's exactly what it is. Except it also has this thing where it can capture, anime creatures.
I'm pretty sure the gravity gun could do that, too.
Somebody's probably written a Gary's mod plugin for it. So, the problem with this section is you have to have your own motivation for turning things on. I don't turn everything on in these levels because why would I? But I will say, because I've sort of beaten the game, that at the end of the game, you get a percentage of how many things you turned on. And in the event that you turned on more than the threshold, you get cool prizes, and I'll show those off later. Because I really don't want to replay all these sections, I'm just going to turn on as many things as I can.
We opened the secret door, or it opened itself.
Yeah. It would be neat if you could drag the secret door open and physics it, but no. Also, this is a mystery machine. Not the Scooby-Doo one.
It would be so much better if it was, though.
Yes. I don't know what that mystery machine does yet. Well, I do, but, You won't see it in this video because it requires an arbitrary puzzle to figure out that I do not figure out in this video. Man.
I'm going to assume it has something to do with those switches.
No, it actually doesn't.
Really? That seems like an obvious thing.
Yeah, but they're unselectable and they do nothing. It had something to do with that cabinet, though.
That's kind of sad that the switches don't do anything. The giant switches there. You think it would be a puzzle?
I would too, but it's not. Also, if you're watching just to get the videos done, you can stop watching now. Nothing interesting happens. So...
Was that some Konami pizza?
Yes, it was. I think it's the same pizza box that we've seen in the kitchen. So, obviously, one night the dad was studying Elebits, and he went on a pizza binge because his boss asked him to stay because yada yada yada. He had some more things he had to figure out.
Or he just really didn't want to go near his family.
Guys, I'm going in my secret room. Don't disturb me.
No one said this was a happy family.
It's sad. Don't make me sad.
Pizza box.
Pizza box. Also, the pizza box was supposed to have Elebits in it, but none came out.
Just gonna shake the mystery machine around a bit. I'm sure that won't damage it.
God, if only it was the Scooby-Doo mystery machine. And here I am thinking that maybe it's one of these things that I have to insert.
Bash it with a wrench.
Yep. Hello. And hello, Pink Elebit. By the way, that little jingle that happens when I collect the Pink Elebit, that means that I've unlocked the condition for the third Pink Elebit to happen, to appear.
Yep, chair.
And that condition is getting the first 2 Pink Elebits. And I think for this level you need like less than 3 breakable objects, something silly like that. Usually if there's a restriction, that's the Pink Elebit condition you'll see. So,
a lot of charts or drawings in this room.
Yeah, the dad was dedicated to studying Elebits, and you can see that he's studying the things that fly around, those orange Elebits that control gravity to fly, apparently, as it says in the game.
Also, he wrote it in code. Because it looked like it just said Oogajigav.
Yeah, the designer for that, the artist who did that, basically went into Photoshop, select text, and selected the Lord of the Rings font. I don't even remember what it's called.
And he didn't even put, like, lorem ipsum, you know? That filler text. He just put a bunch of... He just slammed his fingers on the keyboard.
Pretty much. You can't tell the difference. Come on. I'm trying to remember, what the hell is that Lord of the Rings font called? Tolkienish?
Let's just stick with Lord of the Rings font. That makes much more sense.
Yep. Anyway, if you want me to, I'll post those textures in the thread, because they are somewhat interesting.
Just gotta slide it across the room.
Yep. Anyway, so these blue, those little crystal things are what I'm supposed to insert, and they were in a door on the cabinet, but I don't figure that out, and I'm sitting here going, ugh. So I'll show that off in the montage video.
You think they would actually do something, you know, plot related?
Yeah, you would, but no. I don't know why this dad has, you know, something weird which he has to insert into the machine like a puzzle piece. And that does something. I don't know.
Your dad is actually Professor Layton. This reminds me of a puzzle. Now which one do I put in first?
Alright, so...
Failed.
We've completed that mission, so...
Indoor Elebit Vickle.
Yeah, this game has some severe text length limitations.
It's like Breath of Fire 2 all over again.
Alright. So anyway, next time we'll be doing... Well, not that. Come on, there we go.
We'll be going back outside.
Yeah, again. Outside in 0G. Bye guys. Have fun. All those things. Yay.